Allah is most kind to his slaves. Expensive pearl. One of them took the pearl in his hand, stared at it, and said about reflecting, how perfect is Allah. When we obeyed him, we got nothing. And when we disobeyed him, this is what we got indeed. This sustenance before us is of a doubtful nature. Then he took hold of the pearl and hurled it into the ocean, saying immediately afterwards, Allah will recompense us with better than this. By Allah, I will not take it, for we acquired it after abandoning the prayer. Come with me, and let us leave this place wherein we disobeyed Allah. They travelled 3 miles before camping for the night. Shortly afterwards they went fishing again, and they caught a fair-sized fish. When they slit it open, they found the same valuable pearl inside its stomach. They said, all praise is due to Allah, who has provided us with good sustenance. They caught the fish after praying, remembering Allah and asking for his forgiveness, so this time they kept it. You should notice one important difference. The object was one and the same, but it was filthy when they acquired it while they were disobeying Allah, and it was pure when they acquired it while obeying him. Would that they were contented with what Allah and his messenger gave them, and had said, Allah is sufficient for us, Allah will give us of his bounty and also his messenger from alms. We implore Allah to enrich us. Verily, it is Allah's kindness, so whenever somebody abandons something for Allah, Allah provides him with something that is better. This reminds me of a story of Ali, may Allah be pleased with him. One morning he entered Masjid al-Kufa to pray 2 voluntary units of prayer. Before entering he found a boy standing at the door. He said to him, O boy, restrain for me my mule until I finish praying. As Ali was entering the mosque, he made an intention to reward the boy with a dirham for his services. Meanwhile, the boy removed the noseband from the mule and rushed off to the marketplace to sell it. When Ali came out of the masjid, he found no boy, but only his mule without its noseband. He commissioned a man to go after the boy and ordered him to go to the marketplace, since it was more than likely that the boy would go there to sell the noseband. The man found the boy auctioning it in the marketplace, and he bought it from him for a dirham. He returned to Ali and informed him of what happened. After hearing what occurred, Ali said, how perfect Allah is! By Allah, I intended to give him a lawful dirham, but he refused to take it other than in an unlawful way. Whatever you, O Muhammad, may be doing, and whatever portion you may be reciting from the Quran, and whatever deed you mankind may be doing, good or evil, we are witness thereof when you are doing it. And nothing is hidden from your Lord so as much as the weight of an atom or small ant on the earth or in the heaven. And he will provide him from sources he never could imagine. And he will provide him from sources he never could imagine. A story of a man who fell into a state of dire poverty. All doors of ease were shut tight before him. On one particular day his situation became so frightful that he and his family had nothing whatsoever in his house to eat. He later said, the first day we went hungry. The second passed in a similar fashion, and when the sun was about to set, my wife said to me, go out and find anything that you can for us to eat. for we are on the verge of dying. I remembered a female relative of mine had set out for her home. Upon meeting her, I informed her of our pathetic situation. She said that they had nothing in the house other than a rotten fish. I told her to give it to us nonetheless, since we were close to starving. I took it home with me, slit it open, and to my astonishment I found a pearl lodged in its stomach. I said it for thousands of dinars. I sold it for 1,000 of dinars, and then I informed my relative of what happened. She said that she would only take a share of the proceeds and not everything. My situation improved greatly after that occurrence, and I furnished my house from my share of the profits. And I knew that it was the kindness of Allah and nothing else. And whatever blessings and good things you have, it is from Allah. Remember when you sought help of your Lord, and He answered you, and He it is who sends down the rain. A virtuous worshipper recounted to me what happened to him when he was in the desert one day with his family. He said, We were in the middle of the desert when we ran out of water. I set out to search for water, and I found that the small brook that was near us had gone dry. I continued to search for water in all directions, but was unable to find even a drop. Soon afterwards, we were overcome by thirst. My children desperately needed to drink something. I remembered my Lord. Who answers the prayer of the one who is in distress. I stood, made the alternate ablution, tayammum, which is performed when one cannot use water with sand. Faced the Kaaba and prayed 2 units of prayer. Then I raised my hands and cried. My tears flowed as I was ardently asking Allah for help. I remember now that the following verse repeatedly came before me in my mind. Is not He better than our gods, who responds to the distressed one when he calls him? And by Allah, immediately as I stood from my place of prayer, and there had not been a cloud in the sky, a cloud approached our very spot in the desert. It stopped immediately above us, and it started to rain generously. The brooks around us became replenished. We drank, washed and made ablution. Then we praised and thanked Allah. Shortly afterwards, we travelled away from where it rained, and I found that the surrounding area was dry and barren. It had only rained where we were. I realized that Allah brought for us the cloud in response to my prayer, and I praised Him. And He it is who sends down the rain after they have despaired, and spreads abroad His mercy. And He is the Wali, helper, supporter, protector, worthy of all praise. Worthy of all praise. We have to be assiduous in asking Allah, for only He can provide for, guide and help His slaves. Allah mentioned one of His messengers and said, and we cured his wife to bear a child for him. Verily, they used to hasten on to do good deeds, and they used to call on us with hope and fear, and used to humble themselves before us. An early recompense. And others gave an account of a worshipper who ran out of resources. resources while he was in Mecca. He became extremely hungry and was about to die from lack of nourishment. One day, as he was wandering in the precincts of Mecca, he found an expensive necklace. He put it into his sleeves and headed for the mosque. On his way, he came across a man who was announcing that he had lost a necklace. The poor man later said, "I asked him to describe it to me.